Progress.
Okay, good morning, friends. We're continuing in Sefer Chofetz Chaim. We're in the Pesicha. Today we will finish, with Hashem's help, the Pesicha. I guess tomorrow at 9:15 we will try to begin the Lavin. The Lavin. Tomorrow is very short, actually. So if you say it's a short day, tomorrow shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Probably, maybe even less. Okay. Says the Chofetz Chaim, Goydel Harais Shenimtsu B'Amida Maguna Azos, because of all the many evils that are found in this despicable character trait. His hira Torah son befratos alze belav deloy selech Rachel. The Torah warned us specifically in the lav of loy selech uchemosh navar lekaman. It's not like anger, cruelty, mockery, scorn, and other corrosive, corrupt character traits. Even though they also ruin the image of the soul and its picture. In other words, even though these character traits are also very destructive, and about them the Torah alluded to in many places, as it is clear in the words of Chazal. There's no explicit lav in the Torah. Don't get angry. Don't be cruel. Don't engage in mockery. But Lashon Hara, because of its terrible destructive power, the Torah specifically warns us not to speak Lashon Hara. Void nira pasha tamacher, masha hira Torah befrad al zeh. Also, it would seem obvious, another reason why the Torah specifically warns about this, when we look carefully about this detail, namely Lashon Hara and Rechilas, nimtza shekamad him kailulin kol halavin va'asin sheimatzer ben adam lachaveroi. It basically includes all the negative prohibitions and positive commandments that you could find between man and his friend, as well as many between man and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as we will explain, if Hashem so desires. The Torah warned us explicitly so that we don't fall into this trap. You see, if it would just be that a person would say, well, I'm not going to speak Lashon Hara because maybe I'll violate this, maybe I'll violate that, but if it doesn't say explicitly, they may fall into the Lashon Hara trap. So to avoid that we fall into this trap, the Torah specifically warns us, don't speak Lashon Hara. I, in the future, will explain this at greater length. And from here it will emerge, agavorcha, a great benefit for many other halachas. And furthermore, maybe the Yetzer Hara will be slaughtered, smitten, by us seeing the great stumbling block that comes about through one's words. That's this I began with the help of the one who endows man with das. I feel like this point the Chofetz Chaim already mentioned in the Hakdama. Yeah, in the end, the second to last paragraph of the Hakdama. Okay. First, you have to know the general rules. Lashon Hara hu hainu hamasaper b'gnos chaveroi. Lashon Hara is if you speak about your friend's disparagement. Rechilos hainu shemasaper le'echad ma shechaveroi dibar alav ra ay asalai ra. Rechilos is to tell another person what their friend said or did to them. The first thing you need to know is Lashon Hara is aser afilu al dvar emes, even if it's true. Like you have the guy who says, "What's wrong? What's wrong with what I said? It's true." Pal, you did a very good job of speaking Lashon Hara, because that's what Lashon Hara is. If it wasn't true, it wouldn't be Lashon Hara, it would be Moitzi Shemra. Kamosh Navar Lekaman. Emir Tzashem B'Shem Kala Poiskim. Gam the Isra Lashon Hara Rechilos Hu Bein B'Fanav Vein Shaloi B'Fanav. Whether he's present or the person, the subject of your conversation is not present. Gam the In Chilik Bein Mesaber L'Mkal. There's no difference between the speaker or the recipient. Kamosh Navar HaKol Lekaman. Right? You have the guy. Somebody's speaking Lashon Hara, he's sitting there, yeah. Pal, what are you shaking your head? You're being over alav in the Torah by shaking your head. No, it's America, live and let live. No, if you want to live, then you have to tell him not to say this, because you are minimizing your life by listening to his Lashon Hara. You have to tell him, do me a favor, I'm not interested. Tell me about the Yankees or something, Umekabel mikri b'mashamamin belibay la'asibur shemsar b'lechaber. Mekabel is someone who believes the report. Afilu ein mesayeh loy b'asibur, even if you don't support him and add any details. Rak shemamin belibay la'asibur l'shanar rechil sheshama, just to believe in your heart that it's true. B'zeh mikri noisei shem hashav. By doing so, you are called bearing a false report. Va'over al yidei zeh halav. Deloi sisa shem hashav. You're over the lav, don't bear a false report. So you'll say, but it's not false, it's true. Are you over believing Lashon Hara if it's true? How can you be over, don't believe a false report if it's true? So we're going to discuss that. The answer is because even if it's true, it's inevitable that there will be a detail that's not true. All of these general rules have roots and branches, just like all components of Torah. Hashem Yizakenu Leida Oisam Al Boryam. May Hashem give us the merit to know them clearly. Veda, you should know. The Mashanichtov the Oiver Bein Belavin Ovein Ba'asin Ovein Ba'Hagimel Arurim Shanichtov Unavar Lekaman the Yesh Alav. You should know that when we write your over on a lav or an asay or an aror, kavanasenu, what we mean to say is you're going to be over bein b'lashon hara uvein b'rechilos. Whether you speak lashon hara or whether you speak rechilos, uvein al sheker or uvein al emes, whether you are lying or you're telling the truth. So, in other words, Lashon Hara, Rechilos, Sheker, Emes. These are what we call the four categories. This is the meaning what I'm going to write in the Ber Mayim Chaim, Bedalid Afanim Harishonim. The first four scenarios. Well, again, Lashon Hara, Rechilos, Emes, and Sheker. Levadim Nevar Behedya, unless we explain explicitly, Deloy Kai Rak Alecha Be'elo, that's only going on one of these categories. V'loy Nishar Choyv Aleinu, all we're left to do is rak levar b'chalechem me'alavno asen, to explain by each slav and asay im kai b'fanav. Is it going on where the guy is present, oy shaloi b'fanav, or even if he's not present? Oy alam asaper, is it going on the one who speaks? Oy alam akabel. V'halavin oy ha'asen sheim kolon kol oifen, a lav or an asay that includes every scenario. Echtoiv b'kitzer ba'ber ma'im chayim kol haches ha'afanim. I would just write briefly in the Ber Mayim Chaim all 8 scenarios. V'kavanosenu b'lashon hara urechilos uvefanav v'shaloi b'fanav uvein l'mesaper uvein l'makabel uvein al emes uvein al sheker. So in other words, the 8 scenarios are lashon hara rechilos, his presence, not his presence, the speaker, the recipient, or true or false. Uzachar elo advarim, says Chofetz, remember what I'm telling you. Kiloi echbeleim harpam b'sicha azo. I'm not going to say it many times in this psicha. Umitchila nevar kama lavin sha'avar al yidei sibur lashon hara rechilos. First, we will explain how many lavin you're over. V'achar kach kama asin. Then how many asis. V'achar kach kama arurin shemakabel atzma yidei zeh. And then how many arurim? One is makabel. V'oid kama isurin gedolim shenizbab al yidei zeh. And how many great isurim? One is over. V'achalikis ha'psicha zu l'shnayim. I divided it into 2 sections. Hapnim yikari b'shem makar ha'chaim. The inner part is called the source of life, Ubeir Savavla B'Shem Ber Mayim Chaim, and the surrounding commentary is called Ber Mayim Chaim. V'tam L'Shem Esoelu. If you want to know the reason for these names, Kfar Kasati Hakdama, already wrote in the Hakdama. Ubeber Mayim Chaim Yivar Al Eza Oifen Nemer Kalav Oyaseh. In the Ber Mayim Chaim, I'll explain under what scenario you're over a lav or the aseh. V'oid Eza Halachas Acheres, and other halachas. V'zeh heicheli be'ezras hachonein das. This I have embarked upon with the help of He who grants intelligence. Okay, this concludes the Pesicha of the Pesicha. And tomorrow we will start the Lavin, which Lavin one is over, by speaking Lashon Hara. Have a good day, everyone. Kol Tov.
Recording stopped.